Well, hello, and welcome back. I hope that you will enjoy this chat. Let's see here. Okay, the chat line is open, and I thank for the ones who have subscribed that they may get notifications when I'm online as well. Like I said, I'm new to this. This is my second live video, and each time I look for um, better performance. Well, not performance, but more perfection. Not that no one is perfect, but what you see is what you get. And as you see now, I'm definitely um, have a new do. It's a little hot. You're trying to get the lights and everything. And I think I can do this. I think I was born for this. I just maybe didn't have the confidence. I don't know, but got to go through those. Got to just chip through those brick walls. That's what you got to do. I wrote down some notes because I personally did review my first video, and I didn't want to go off at another subject. I really wanted to stick with the subject, and I will be posting at least twice, once a week, new videos because it's a lot to this. It's not like you could just get online on Facebook and do Facebook Live and it is what it is. No, there's a different presentation here on YouTube channel. There's a difference when you're doing a channel. So I am not the type of person that is technically inclined, but I do have some basic experiences, like with video recording, things like that. But on the other side, to make sure that the cam and the lighting and all that is like perfecto, I have no experience on that. So anyway, I just wanted to get to, let me move back. I might be a little bit too much on top of the cam. And I might as well just go ahead and get comfortable. I'm not going to look at myself, I'm going to look at you because I'm talking to you. Our last, or shall I say, our first video was in regards to the trending of what's going on, the topics, which the only reason why I picked this topic was because it's something that I can relate to, not something I wanted to capitalize off of, if you understand what I'm saying. And it's R. Kelly. And we was talking about R. Kelly with his lifestyle of domination / as being a master. Now, I like R. Kelly music. I wouldn't. Did I go out and purchase it? No. Did I download on an iPad? No. Did I make a baby to it? No. Did I make up and make love to it? No. But I like his music. When I hear it, I listen to it, and it's culture. It's culture. And the funny thing about culture, I was listening to this other gentleman's blog, and he was talking about the. I don't know if you ever seen his his photo with the mask that looked like Zorro, but he was saying that it was like the Pied Piper who made music to seduce people. And if you didn't listen to his music, it drew the children. And I'm not going to get all into that because I don't even know how to articulate it in terms. But if you have an idea, then you know what I mean. And maybe later on, if not, we'll move on from this because I don't like to be repetitious. We can get an idea from that. Now, as I said before, I was with a man at age 20, that was 26 years older than me, and I was 15. And I lived with him like 3 blocks from where I grew up and my parents still lived 3 blocks. If you're from Buffalo, New York, and the East Side, our blocks are very close. This man also worked at Chevrolet plant with my father. Okay. I write about this in my book because I was 10 years old when I first became in contact with him when I was working at my parents' restaurant, you know, behind the counter. And I remember I was like 10 years old, little perky nipples, big old areolas. And he said to me, he said, when you get older, I'm going to have you. I'm a child. I don't know what he's talking about, you know. And I will share more of the story on the next video because I don't want to cramp everything. What I really want to address, but I want to paint the picture of truth. Okay, my truth, my story. That you got R. Kelly, you got the victims, and you got the parents. Now, when I lived 3 blocks from this man, I asked my mom, when I got older after I published my books, The Purpose of My Closure, how it began. I asked her, I said, why nobody came and get me? Because here I am in my 40s, late 40s, and I finally had the opportunity, and it finally dawned on me because I had to go back and stay with my parents for like 6 months for whatever reasons. I'll share that later, but I just want to paint the picture. And being back in the atmosphere after years, and walking the atmosphere, I asked my mother, why no one never ever came and got me? She said, because I thought that you thought you were grown. And when I heard about the young ladies that's quote unquote in captivity with R. Kelly, and the parents or other people's social media said, well, why the parents didn't go get them? I know my mother told me, what, 40 years later plus, you thought you was grown. I thought you was grown. Now, how can you think that your 15-year-old daughter is grown and she's living 3 blocks away from you with a man that's 26 years older than you, older than your daughter? Well, not to throw my parents underneath the bus, but being a parent myself, I have 4 children, thank God, healthy, educated, self-sufficient. Even though all what I've been through, they made great choices and kudos. And God bless my children. But in those days, why? Why would you let your child stay 3 blocks away from where you live with a man that's 26 years older than you? And that's all you could say was because I thought I was grown. Well, okay, I'm getting closure during my journey. I'm not going to use the name of a person, but it was an older woman in Buffalo who was very, very close to me, even at my young age, who knew the father of my daughter, my children, where I was very young. And years later, she made a statement to me. She said, Sam, see, because my name is Cassandra. My street name is MsAlexis. But my childhood name, people who know me, they call me Sandy. But this particular woman, she called me Sam. That's how close she was to me. She said, Sam. She said, what? The person, my father's children, was very generous. And I didn't understand it. Matter of fact, I was a little angry. My point is this. When I was with that man that was older than me, I know that it was beneficial to my parents. Regardless of how they want to sugarcoat it, I'm sure it was very beneficial to them. It's sad to say, and it's very hard to say, but this is part of my closure. This is part of my closure. The truth that versus the deception. Okay? So, in order for me to help you or anyone, or even myself, I have to be very candid. I have to be truthful, not so much mindful, because the mind will bring confusion. But the truth will set you free. Listen, as far as in my earlier video, when I talk about R. Kelly getting closure, his quote unquote victims getting closure, his parents getting closure, y'all might not like me. You might feel like, as a 15-year-old being with a man that's 46 years older than me, and he worked at Chevrolet plant with my father. He came into our restaurant and used to place orders. And I used to take his orders. And right upstairs was an after-hour joint, gambling joint. At the corner was a bar. I'm setting the stage for you because this is how Chicago is. Okay? We in Chicago, we not talk about Kansas City, a Tukawakasaki town with a population of 20 people. We're talking about Buffalo, which is considered as the small apple of New York, but you're talking about Chicago, the town of gangster, the town of prostitution, gambling. It's a lot that goes in Chicago. I spent some time in Chicago. As a matter of fact, when I was in my world, it was one of my favorite towns. I love the food, the shopping. I love the Italian men. I love the gangster men. As a matter of fact, my son's father, he spent some time in Chicago. God bless his soul. It's a money-getting town. And I'm gonna leave it like that. But the parents, my parents, they never came and got me. Now, R. Kelly's quote unquote young ladies age 15, 16, who now, okay, they think they grown. Yeah, you have them call them daddy, but let's not take this out of context. When you say daddy, I say daddy if I'm having sex. Oh, yes, daddy. You like that, daddy? You like that, daddy? Men like to be called daddy. It has nothing to do with I'm 13, I'm 12 years old, and I'm on a fetal position, and I'm calling you daddy. It's a foreplay thing. Now I'm setting the stage. I'm not saying that what's going on is correct, but I'm giving you the bigger picture, the map and the guide to how it began. Because before anybody sue anybody, before anybody try to break anybody, because see, what's so funny to me is that now your daughter is like 20, 21, 22, been living with a man 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 years, and all of a sudden, you want to get them. But as long as you thought that they was being kept out of your hair, out of your pocket. You was fine with it until you felt like there was no future financial support. Now I'm talking to the parents right now. Okay. To me, you're just as guilty because to me, my parents was just as guilty. I have no animosity in my heart. I love my parents. I just took care of my father, who was 82 years old, that has basically really done nothing for me. I raised my children on my own. The first children father died, he was deceased. The second father child, he stayed in and out of jail. And my third father child, I call him Freddy Krueger on Elm Street. But you know what? He was a good father. He was a square because I met him as a square. So you can't take a hoe and try to make a housewife. And you can't take a square guy and try to make him your pimp. You know, it's who you are and be true to your own self. And this game, as I said in the early video about what my books or who my books are really for. Now, I want to stay to the point because I do have so much inside, that I want to share, but I don't want to put it and crap everything all in one space. But my point is getting to the parents. What part, my question is, what part did you play in this for it to get to this point? What part did you play in this to get to this point? Because personally, even though I was not married or settled or in such a stable situation, if my daughters or my son called for me, I'm coming on one leg, one arm, one eye. I'm coming for my children. The only time I don't bother when I know that they're okay. I know that they're married. I know they have education, have a job, have a roof over their head. But if you're 14, 15, 16-year-old, you know they ain't got no job. Oh, you depending on their singing career. No management skills or experience because you trust this man. My mother always told me, trust if you must, but trust no one. So I'm going to leave that right there and park it in the parents' parking lot. And I'll get back to you soon. The victims? Okay, there's no joke out here, honey. You have the beauty, you got the booty, and then you even go and decide that you want to enhance it, which is not natural. You be true to thy own self. If you are 24 and a 54, but an A cup, thank God, because that's what he gave you. Work it. If he gave you a flat breast, a big stomach, wide hips, but a beautiful voice, thank God, because that's what he gave you. But I understand when you're immature and undeveloped that an older man comes in your life and he seems to have it all. He has more than what your parents are offering you because they're so wrapped up into each other. They're so wrapped up into themselves. They don't even realize they have a child with an angelic voice. They don't even realize they got the next top 10 model. They don't even realize that they have a geek, a computer wizard in their household because it's all about them. That's what I was talking about where domination comes from, neglect. It triggers you. Neglect. If you listen to the first video, I'm listening even when you don't speak. Young ladies that's laying on their back, feel like they had to do what they had to do. I understand. But as long as you living, you're going to always make money. And as you grow, you will learn that there's other ways. You may not have the best education. You may not be the most popular. You may feel like you don't even have all the opportunities. But every day you wake up 6 feet over and not under, and you alive, you have another chance. And you were born with purpose. And right now it may seem that it's cloudy, you have no clarity, but I want to help you through this journey of closure. There is a God, but I'm not it. But God will send you help. He will send you a messenger where one word may change your life or it may resonate your soul. I don't want to come on YouTube being a preacher. I don't want to come on just being urban, being the old women, being for old hoes, being for old pimps. But if you've been through it, you've been through it. Just thank God He brought you through it. I want to tell you one thing, life is not over for you, young lady. Laying on your back. Feel like you have to compromise and you close your eyes. And you hate the thought. And you try to convince yourself that if you could just make it through, it's going to take you to. No, baby. Mm-mm. I will tell you this, that this too shall soon pass. And when you feel like there's nothing or no one that understands you or have your back, I will tell you this. God is real. I don't want to hear about no God. He ain't with me. I'm hurting. I'm homeless. I'm being abused. I'm being mentally abused. No. Let's say the God that's in you. You're not a God, but the God that's in you. Dig deep. Dig deep. If you can just take, like, when you wake up in the morning and just say, oh, Lord, thank you. Because when you sleep, you don't know if you're going to wake up the next morning. There's no promise. Have you ever fell asleep and wake up and be surprised that you woke up? Have you ever fell asleep and in the middle of your sleep, you be like, whoo, my eyes is open. Only thing you gotta do, gratitude, not attitude. Gratitude, not attitude. When you wake up, oh Lord, thank you for another day. Thank you, I'm 6 feet over now and I'm alive with another chance. That's all you gotta say. That's the beginning. You keep being grateful, everything else will add on. But if you wake up on the phone, mother F this, suck this, BITCH this, NIGGA this, how you start your day, you're going to run your day, you're going to finish your day. Because that's who you are. But I tell you who you are. Even though you may be in a situation that I've been myself, abused, accused, misused, you are a royal child of God, of a holy nation, of a holy priesthood. And you are precious. And you may not get that today. I just want to plant that seed if you're watching, that you know who you are and whose you are. And addressing not only to R. Kelly, but men like R. Kelly. And there are some women, because I have been a dominatrix, and I'm going to get to that. But men like R. Kelly, all I can say is surrender. Trust God. Acknowledge Him in all your ways. When Jesus was on the cross, He had a robber and a murderer. And He was innocent. But even at their last breath, they had the opportunity for salvation. And if you ever believed in God, now is the time. What I would say to R. Kelly right now is that I understand the 30 years of fame and fortune. I understand the unlimited financial opportunities, but I also understand, and I can relate to how it began for you. How it began for you with the single parent that worked. You was born with the gift. Your gift didn't just pop up in your 20s. Don't you know that the enemy had already knew that you had a gift in you before you was born, and sent an enemy in your camp to seduce you and turn you out and to transfer demonic, perverted spirits to you? Let me tell you something. I know about brown showers. I know about golden showers. I know about the spirit of control of locking them up, locking them down, beating that mind up until their mind becomes your mind. And to be honest with you, it still ain't nothing. You know what it says? Nothing but a big old coward, a little old scared coward, surrounding yourself around others that you can control. Because one thing I learned from a man in Chicago, I'll never forget. I was running up and down the road, MsAlexis, escort, in touch with her sexuality, had the little ribs, little mask, little chain, little red nails. Never smoked cigarettes. Got so greedy for the money, I started smoking cigarettes. Big mistake. Set up for the enemy to destroy my health. Okay? There's one thing this man said to me. He came in the room and he had Miss and Margaret on one ass cheek, butt cheek, and Alexis on the other butt cheek. You know, it made me feel empowered. Get down. Bow down. You're not allowed to look at me. Don't even speak. Small examples, scenario. With two things. He said, you know what, MsAlexis? He said, you are not the one that's in control because I'm paying you still to do what I want. I'd have let him know, it would have blew my mind, gave me a different outlet. What which really I just did for the money. It was not really my lifestyle. But if you keep practicing it and exercising it, eventually it will consume you and you'll start believing, because I became more of a MsAlexis than I was of Cassandra Brand, because it sucks your soul. You're compromising it. You're straddling the fence. But if you got one pinky toe over the fence, it's going to take the rest of the toes and the whole foot, because you get too relaxed with that pinky. And then they get weak and woo, it just sucks everything in. So you're not the one that's really in control. You're still being controlled. And what I mean by this, vice versa, even though you may, and I'm not accusing you, I'm just saying scenario, that you paying young women to do this or to do that, okay? On the back end, you still not in control, because at the end of the day, you still have to answer to every single thing that you've done that is not order, that's not in order, that is not natural. Brown showers, golden showers, bondage, hog tie. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. In bondage, hog tie is not necessarily the feet and the back to the hands. Okay. I wish I was a little bit more flexible or doing like pictures and stuff like that, because I would give you some more illustrations. That's why, as far as your wife is concerned, which I'm not going to get in dress with that, and that, you fell asleep while she was at the bottom of the bed. No, that's role play. That's how she got caught into it. Okay. I, that's another conversation. Okay. I'm not defending, I'm just educating the lifestyle. Okay. And Mr. Kelly, you still have a chance if you repent and acknowledge God, because you have a gift. And every good and perfect gift comes from God, and it has no sorrow. But once you repent, it opens up the doors if you sincerely repent. But if you're so far gone to where the fact you feel like you untouchable because you beat this, you could beat that, and you beat that, and you could beat this, submit, humble yourself, because your gift is all you have left. That's all I have to say to you, Mr. Kelly. And to any other politician, residential, commercial person that's in dominance and bondage and things like that, it's perverted. It's perverted. It's not natural. And I understand, because some people think that it's natural as they grow up like this. For example, when I was escorting, I got paid, what was it? It was in 2000. I think it was $4,500. Yeah, about $4,500. I was living in Texas, and I was flown from Texas, I believe it was DC, somewhere in that area. Because this happened a while ago, and I'm sure it was 45 plus maybe. And all I had to do was keep bouncing on the man, bouncing on. This when BBW came out, bouncing on him, bouncing on him. Man, I bounced that man so much I was tired. I thought I could do it. for them hours. But my butt was sore and tired. I was much bigger than I was then. I was like 240 pounds. And met him in a hotel, and I was just bouncing and just bouncing. And I finally asked him, and I'm going to share some of my other stories. I asked him, I said, what got you into this? Which was a fetish for him. And he liked the feel of a big woman on him, suffocating him, whatever. I don't know how it felt to him. I know I felt to me it was very tiresome, but everyone have a different fetish. But it came from childhood. A big fat aunt, wrestling. You understand what I'm saying? So, Miss Kelly, I know that. No, I don't know because I wasn't there. But the stories that have been told was from your brother when he was 6 and you were 10. Yada, yada, yada. He never actually said what happened because he never witnessed between you and your sister, but she was smart. And at that age, she had to be influenced under something else because 15-year-olds don't really have that much common sense. That's why I know it's deeper than the regular human comprehension. That's why I know this is a spiritual thing. And you think no one understands. If, I'm just saying, if scenario, you did lose your virginity with your sister, if it was because of the separation and the control and the bondage, if that's how it began. A lot of people feel like maybe your brother's lying, maybe you're in denial, maybe you liked it, maybe it just got so embedded and deep with you that you don't think nothing wrong with it, which is very possible. Maybe you really don't think nothing wrong with it, and that's what I've been saying from the beginning. You really think there's nothing wrong with it because it's a lifestyle. Now, if it had happened with a stranger, but when it happens within the family, it becomes a lifestyle because it's within the household. That's why a lot of families that's been through molestation and things like that, they sweep it underneath the rug. Shh. Don't say no one. Don't say nothing. And the first one to say, shh, don't say nothing, is because the first one, it had happened to them before, and they was told the same thing. It wasn't no accident that God gave you the career and the gift that you have. Because you sing, not like a bird. That's why you say you think you can fly. Yes, you sing. I never heard an eagle, but I'm just giving a scenario how the eagle flies way above the birds. You have a gift. And sometimes, our gifts is not for our own gratification, but for the glorification of the kingdom of God. And we can straddle the fence. And I know about straddling the fence because I know I've been called to ministry and I've been fighting and running away from a long time. But God has strategically trained me and raised me to touch a wide range of different people, diverse people. I'm not just a target, because when you go to heaven and hell, it doesn't target gender, occupation, race. It's all about touching people, changing their lives, and touching souls. I didn't mean to really go on and on and on. It took a lot for me to get on. I was sick for about 3 days. My body was under attack. I couldn't breathe. My body was full of aches. I just couldn't eat. I drank just tea, herbal teas for like 3 days. A cough where every time I opened my mouth, I would just cough. And when I coughed, my stomach and my ribs would hurt. But while I lay in the bed, I constantly studied because the Word of God says study show yourself approved. And what I was really studying was how to, I wouldn't say perfect, but how to use YouTube in an effective way to reach a lot of people. And we can't put ourselves in a box. Oh, I'm just going to do the black people. I'm just going to do the white people. Or I'm going to do the rich people. Or I'm going to do the poor people. Or I'm going to do the crook people. Or I'm going to do the hoes and the pimps. Oh, I'm going to do the young. Or I'm going to do the old. No. Anyone that got flesh wrapped around them, anybody got a heart attached to them, anyone that has a mind to make decisions, eyes to see, ears to hear, a mouth to speak, and a nose to smell. That's who I really want to reach. And I believe that's what makes me different. Doesn't make me better, but it does make me different. Now, I addressed the parents, the victims, R. Kelly, and do about 4 more minutes, which is going to be 45 minutes of this episode because I'm really just reaching out, trying to touch someone. And I just want to share this testimony. I have been in the business. I started dancing, stripping, go-go dancing in New York when I was 15. From there, I talk about in my books, it went viral and spiral. But there's one particular place I used to work at, which is called Show World on 42nd and 8th Avenue in New York, Manhattan. I revisited there a couple of years ago because I just wanted to see, what happened. And when I went in there and they was telling me how one of the manager had hooked up with a transvestite and that he died of AIDS. And it's a lot because I really want to put stuff out there. But when I went in there, my spirit felt so vexed. And I always felt this way about New York. I mean, the people, the men, mostly men that were in there were pale white, dark circles around their eyes, looked like skeletons, like the living dead, which I did mention in my book. And I thank God for delivering me from that. But that place itself has really planted a lot of seeds in our men of different cultures, not just black or white, because, New York City is a melting pot. And just check it out. Google it. Check out the history. Show World, 42nd and 8th Avenue, New York, New York. I worked there in the 80s. And a couple of, that's about episodes. I'll get into it, or you can get the book on Amazon, The Purpose of Closure, The Purpose of My Closure, How It Began, Volume 2 is a spinoff, and volume 3 is enter into a journey of hell. Number 4, I'm finishing it now, Truth versus Deception. But or you can just go to my website, thepurposeofclosure.com, and go to my bookstore and order from there. And then I can, autograph it for you from there. We're a little bit over the 45-minute count. And I'm not trying to put you on a time or anything like that. I just, want to pace myself. I don't believe in being greedy, just needy. That's that old MsAlexis coming out. But you can contact me through my website. Any questions, you're welcome to reach me at purposeclosure@gmail.com. And please subscribe and like this video and share. That way you can get notifications. If you feel like someone that this video may help, that's how we help each other, by sharing information. Because sometimes our information is limited. Our comprehension of what the other person's going through is limited. We cannot articulate, excuse me, there's that cough. We cannot articulate what that person may need because we don't have that information. So share. If it's someone you feel like this video may be able to help, and because it does help build my platform. And I'm not begging for subscribers. I'm just asking, please subscribe, like, and share. And then, no goodbyes, but I will see you later. Ooh, how did we get out of here? Now, you know what? I cannot see. Let's see here. Okay. Here we go. Don't be laughing at me. I'm trying.